We're going to move on to the sign of Cancer. What's going to happen for Cancer in the month of April? Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to do career, love, and finances. Career, King of Wands. All right. You guys are going to feel bold and vivacious in the way that you approach your career. Okay. You're going to be stepping more into your masculine energy. So you're going to be more action oriented um, for this month. Now, where would Aries be for a Cancer rising? Because I got to really, really think about that. It would more than likely be in the 10th house, right? So for a lot of you, you could be getting your gears revved up for, sharing a lot of content. You might be making a lot of bold decisions when it comes to your public image and your sense of self. You might share anecdotes a little bit more, be a little bit more chatty, or show your creative side a little bit more. I just get someone who's going to be very bold and vivacious in the way that they express themselves. You might dye your hair, you might have a new hairstyle, you might go for a completely different career, that actually tailors this hidden masculine energy that you've kept tucked away for so long, or maybe just didn't have the opportunity to really step fully into it because in your last place of work, they weren't able to let you exercise your leadership skills. And I think this is something that's going to be really, really good for you. Now, as far as your finances, Two of Wands, you're getting foresight on how you can be able to handle some expenses uh, that might be coming your way. There might also be some travel expenses that you might have to cover. I'm getting there's some things that you have to take care of when it comes to your car. Okay. Um, what exactly am I getting in the aspects surrounding that? It's something that's going to be very, very evident because in this particular deck, it's the Sun card. So there's that. You know what I'm getting? I'm getting Is It the Way by Sweetie, which is so funny because it samples and I believe interpolates The Way by Jill Scott, which was a song that I channeled for Gemini. And in this particular case, I feel like it's almost equivalent to Sweetie's career, right? You're going to be dipping and dabbing in different areas and figuring out ways to sort of earn a little bit more. All right. Um, this could also be equivalent to the start of the beginning of Sweetie's career, where she manifested. She wrote her first rap with the intention to manifest her life. So I think this has a lot to do with you pondering, you know, maybe not even pondering, because if this is sun rule, this has a lot to do with you being very, very sure about what direction you want to go in when it comes to your career, or what you want to do with your finances and how you want it to be materialized. So I think with that being said, this is about you being open and being very diligent in your plans. If it means you venturing off into a new career path and trying something new, then definitely do that because your intuition is very spot on during this time. Now, when it comes to love, I feel like you guys are still in your head about it. There's some things that you have to work on, okay? And I think it has a lot to do with fixation. In this deck, Nine of Swords is ruled by Venus, right? So this has a lot to do with what you think, what you attract. I'm not too keen on the way that's being said, but I will say that if you have an ideology that isn't serving you well, meaning you seem to always be aware of the same type of archetype of man that you attract. Well, this has a lot to do with, what you're allowing and what you're refusing to see within. Okay, and that I'm not gonna go on pointing fingers and saying that it's your fault, but I do feel as if this has a lot to do with your ideology and the way that you're speaking of your love life has to change. It really does. So I think your perception of self and what exactly it is that you're calling out, you want to be very, very specific on what it is. Okay? Because right now, the power of the tongue is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. So continue to do some exercises, do some journal entries around what type of partner you want, Do some journal entries around what type of partner you think you are and whether or not, and if there's any characteristics that need to be transformed or changed, because everybody has growing to do. The growing never stops.